Our freedom of choice just met its death panel, the Supreme Court.
Welcome back to the Ed Show. As you can see, that we are in the middle of a complete right-wing meltdown. Righties all across the country are grieving over the Supreme Court's decision to uphold the Affordable Care Act. According to one editor at Breitbart.com, this is the greatest destruction of individual liberty since Dred Scott. This is the end of America as we know it. No exaggeration. Can't you just feel it, folks? Those who feel betrayed by Justice John Roberts are blaming the Chief Justice's health on his decision to side with the liberals.
It's well known that Roberts, unfortunately for him, has suffered from epileptic seizures. Therefore, he has been on medication. Therefore, neurologists will tell you that medication used for seizure disorders, such as epilepsy, can introduce mental slowing, forgetfulness, and other cognitive problems. And if you look at Robert's writings, you can see the cognitive dissociation in what he is saying.
How could everybody else in the American media miss that one? The ruling has caught some right-wingers completely off guard. Now, back in March, Bill O'Reilly was so confident that health care reform would be overturned that he told a guest this.
If I'm wrong, I will come on and I will play your clip, and I will apologize for being an idiot.
Well, we're still waiting for an apology. Just looking out for you, Bill. Last night, the vacationing O'Reilly called into his own show to warn viewers that this ruling was all part of a left-wing plot to redistribute the wealth.
For poor Americans, it's good because the government's going to give them health insurance. Just hand it to them for free, just like they give welfare, food stamps, and whatever. It's another entitlement. For more affluent Americans and some working Americans, it's bad because their taxes are going to go up to pay for the free stuff, the free health care that's going to the poor American.
And O'Reilly isn't alone in his delusional ramblings. Take a look.
I can't tell you how sick I am. I am literally sick over what happened yesterday. Total fraud was perpetrated on this country.
So working Americans, middle-class Americans, have to decide, do you want to be Sweden?
What is this, Russia?
I'm scared we're becoming socialists, frankly.
Progressives are fascists. They're fascists.
If Obama is reelected, well, America, you will no longer recognize the country that today you truly love.
Progressivism is a disease, and it is in both parties. It's in both parties. And if we don't wipe out the progressive idea, if we don't correct that in the minds, those people shoot people that disagree with them.
Let's bring in Van Jones, president of Rebuild the Dream and the author of the book by the same name, Rebuild the Dream. It starts out with a little bit of comedy, this segment, but then when you hear something like that and you think about the head-shaking crowd in America, where's this anger going to take this country, Van? Good to have you with us tonight.
Well, first of all, it's good to be here, and this is a good Friday for America. I mean, when you see people going this nuts, you know something good has happened in America. They're trying to go in the medicine cabinet and try to find the pills that they to try to blame on this decision. Here's what actually happened. When we fight, we win. When good people in America say we're tired of 30 million people not having health insurance, we're tired of kids who are 22, 23 years old, can't find work, not having health insurance, and we're going to do something about it, we can actually get it done. That's all that happened. The same thing happened with the student loan fight today. The students looked up and they said, listen, we're about to get socked with double interest rates. Young people would rebuild the dream. The PERGs, USSA stood up, the Senate, and the House followed. What's happening and why these people are freaking out is because good people in America of all colors and all classes are starting to act like we have some sense. It makes no sense to live in the richest country in the world and have people dying in emergency rooms and not being able to get good health care. It makes no sense for us to be closing the door to college for the next generation. So we're just going to keep stepping forward, one foot in front of the other, making these changes, and they're going to keep freaking out. But the reality is, when you see this level of venom on their side, they're just being sore losers. The Supreme Court has spoken. Their justice, they loved this justice. Justice Roberts, they talked about how incredibly brilliant he was. He came down on our side. Don't be a sore loser now. If he was good enough for every other decision, he should be good enough on this one.
So
if he wasn't popping pills in the other decision, why is he suddenly popping pills on this one?
Van, what's this summer going to be like with the Tea Party? Are we going to see like what we saw back in 2010?
You know, I don't know, because I think that what you're seeing is progressives are starting to get energized now. I think what we learned a lesson. In Wisconsin, we put our minimum against their maximum. Now, on the ground, they fought hard, but the progressives nationally, we didn't show up for the fight. We put our minimum against their maximum in Wisconsin, and we lost. On health care, we put our maximum against their maximum. On the student loan fight, we put our maximum against their maximum, and we won. I think what you're going to see is progressives saying, hey, hold on a second. We don't have to get rolled by these people. They lie, they scream, they say that this bill, all this bill's saying is if you're a slacker, you're going to get taxed. It's a tax on slackers who don't want to pay for their health insurance. They want to dive bomb themselves into an emergency room and make us pay for it. If you're that kind of person, you get taxed. That's the only tax you're going to get. Now, if they're going to scream and yell and lie and say that is socialism, I think more of us are going to start saying, hold on a second. We're not going to get intimidated and bullied by these people. We're going to keep making positive changes for Americans and let them scream and holler.
Van, great to have you with us. Van Jones here on The Ed Show tonight. Thanks so much.